you'll see a plain cross. And in an Anglican vestry, what you'll invariably find on the wall is a full-length mirror. Meanwhile, in a Unitarian vestry, what you're likely to find is stores of boxes for the next jumble sale. There are a few Unitarian jokes like this. Some of them are actually pop up in The Simpsons, the cartoon The Simpsons, that I'm sure most of you are familiar with, if not all of you. There's one episode where First Church of Springfield has an ice cream social event, and all the ice cream flavours have got religious themes to them. There's Crucifixion's flavour, Blessed Virgin Berry, Command Mint flavoured ice cream, I quite like that one, Command Mint, and Bible Gum flavoured ice cream. And Reverend Lovejoy says to Lisa Simpson, "Do you want a Unitarian ice cream?" And she says, "Yes, please." And he hands her a bowl, and she looks at the bowl and says, "There's nothing in this bowl, it's a completely empty bowl." And Reverend Lovejoy says, "Exactly." Punchline of a lot of these jokes are often around the idea that Unitarians don't believe anything. We're rather liberal and wishy-washy, which is what some people think because we're a different kind of religious community, and sometimes it's difficult to explain that to people. A couple of weeks ago, I was away at my friend's wedding. I wasn't performing the wedding, I was the best man at that time. As always, I was chatting to old friends as well as the family of the bride and groom that I knew. And as often comes up in conversations, eventually the question arises, what do you do for a living? To which I sort of smile and look at the person and wonder what reaction I'm going to get as I say, I'm the minister of a Unitarian church. And I always say, and make the point, it's a Unitarian church. And that gets an interesting variety of reactions. I don't know if people are sort of going back over the sentence and wondering if they're saying something they shouldn't have done in the conversation so far. Did I swear? Have I sworn in this conversation? I can't remember. And there's often surprise people's reactions are, and there are various different questions get asked. I've been talking to people from predominantly Catholic countries, from France and Spain, and they always ask, do Unitarian ministers get married? And I say yes, they do. They like marriage very much. They sometimes have more than one. And then there's all kinds of interesting questions you get. A question I got when I was at the wedding, someone said to me, what do your congregation think about the fact you have an earring? And I said, I don't know, I've never asked them, so you'll have to tell me, because I've not asked you. Most religions can point to a set of beliefs that make it more easy to explain Unitarianism when the question eventually comes about, yes, but what is Unitarianism? I haven't heard of this, which is what the conversation usually comes round to. And that's difficult for us because we are creedless. We don't believe in having precise written statements, creeds that explain exactly what we believe and what we will always believe into the future. So it's difficult to explain. But the question keeps coming back, yes, but what do you believe? What do you believe? I think it is possible to answer that question. But I think the way I'm going to answer it is to distract you a little bit and go via a question I heard to an answer I heard to a different question this week. Bolton Street Angels is a project that's based here at Bank Street Chapel, and it's a project where there's a safe space cafe here at the chapel which is open from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. every Saturday night, and groups of 3 people go out onto the street here on Bradshawgate and look out for anyone who might be vulnerable through drink or drugs, or if they've lost a friend or lost their taxi fare home, or have their bag stolen, or any kind of, or have drunk too much and need to sober up for a while. Bolton Street Angels offer what support they can to those people. And it was happening a matter of hours ago in this place, and I think that if you look around there might be some bleary-faced people who you might be able to recognise who were out last night. But not everyone who's a volunteer is a member at this chapel. You don't have to be a member to volunteer. You don't have to be a member of any other Christian churches in the town to volunteer. You just have to agree with the ethos of Street Angels. I'm telling you this because of an event that happened last week. In the last few weeks we've been doing training for Street Angels, for the volunteers to get training in various issues of counselling and first aid and things like that. And one of the things we talked about last Wednesday at the training session was why we were volunteering, why each of us as a volunteer wanted to work on this project. And that's a question we do get asked when we're out on the street. We'll be talking to people queuing up outside the kebab shop, and people are quite chatty when they've had a few drinks, and they realise we're not police and we're not door staff, and actually we're not getting paid. And that blows some people's minds that we're out there and we're not getting paid, and they say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And the answer that one person gives, who said last Wednesday, why are we doing this? Because you matter. Because you matter. And I found that such a simple and such a powerful statement for the ethos of Bolton Street Angels. But then I thought actually that is the ethos also of this chapel and of the Unitarian faith. Because you matter. What do we believe? We believe in you. We believe in you. We believe in the sacred worth of every individual. We do not believe that people are inherently sinful or inherently evil, or that most people are destined to hell and need to be saved. We want to welcome all people. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whether you are a believer or a skeptic, you are welcome here. Whether you've had struggles with organised religion or traditional religious beliefs in the